So we'll begin with this Bag and Lameta beds. Okay. So we have gone through all this. Okay. We have gone through all these Bag beds and all this, right? Where this succession and all. Okay. Now, what we have to see is the status in Maharashtra or their locations in Maharashtra. Okay. So in Maharashtra, the Bag beds, okay, the Bag beds are exposed in the isolated outcrops. Okay, in the isolated outcrops, it is not like larger outcrops are there. Okay, not like larger outcrops or very extensive plains or extensive deposits are there. Okay, this is exposed in the isolated outcrops. Okay, in the isolated outcrops around Kewadi, Chapdi, then Arithi, Sipanpalia, and Jangithi, Jampani, and Mangeli, Vani villages in Akkalkuwa Tehsil of Dhule district. Okay, in the Akkalkuwa district of Dhule district. Okay, so in Dhule district only, okay, in this Dhule district only, we have these Bag beds. Okay, in the Bag beds, right? So it is represented by limestone beds. Okay. The Bag beds in Maharashtra, they are represented by these limestone beds, right? So this is their extent. Okay, this is their extent in Maharashtra. Okay, this is the extent of Bag beds in Maharashtra, right? Next, Lametas. Again, we have seen the Lametas. Okay, what Lametas are, where they are, okay, where they are located, and all these things, right? So Lametas basically they are infratrappeans. Okay, Lametas are basically Lametas basically are infratrappeans. Okay, why they are so important? Because they are intertraps, and they are important for this Cretaceous Tertiary boundary, and they have the dinosaur skeletal remains. Okay, they have the dinosaur skeletal remains. So whenever you have to search for dinosaur body or for dinosaur fossil, okay, Lametas are ideal location. Okay, the Lametas are ideal location, or these Lametas are good locations to study the dinosaurs. Okay. So these are the locations: westernmost basin, okay, the westernmost Balasinur and Jhabua basin, then Jabalpur basin, then Sagar, then easternmost Ambikapur basin, and southernmost Nand Dongargaon basin. Okay. They are the environment of depositions. Okay, the environment of depositions. We have all this. We've seen all this. Okay, and the flora and fauna. Okay. Now, the important thing, important thing which we have to study is this: the infratrappeans in Maharashtra. Okay, where do we find infratrappeans in Maharashtra? Okay, so these infratrappeans in Maharashtra. Okay, the infratrappeans in Maharashtra, they occur again in isolated outcrops, or they are exposed in stream cuttings. Okay, they are exposed in the stream cuttings or on a hill slopes in several localities, right? In Nagpur, Bhandara, Chandrapur, and Amravati districts. Okay, so they occur as the isolated outcrops, smaller isolated outcrops like this. Okay, they won't be forming a large bed. Okay, they won't be forming large bed, or they are found in the stream cuttings. Okay, stream cuttings, that means in the river valleys. Okay, in the river valleys, they will you will find them into the river valleys where the stream cuttings are available. Okay, wherever the stream cuttings are available, right? And on the hill slopes. Okay, on the hill slopes. So where you will find them in Nagpur, Bhandara, Chandrapur, and Amravati districts. Okay, these are the districts. These are the districts in Maharashtra. You will where you will find the infra traps. Okay, now of these, only few basins or only few locations have been studied in some details. Okay, so these are Takdi in the neighborhood of Nagpur, Kelod. Okay, in the neighborhood of Nagpur, Kelod, about 45 kilometers northeast from Nagpur, Chhindwara road. Okay, So in this Takri area, okay, in this Takri area in Nagpur, okay, in the Takri area of Nagpur, you will find this infra traps. Okay. In the area surrounding Deni in Umred Tehsil, okay, Deni in Umred Tehsil of Nagpur district, then Varora district of Chandrapur, okay, this Varora district of Chandrapur, Varora district, Varora Tehsil, okay, Varora Tehsil of Chandrapur district, and Achalpur in Amravati district. Okay, Achalpur in Amravati districts. So these are the geographical locations. Okay, these are the geographical locations of Lametas in Maharashtra. Okay, these are the geographical locations of Lametas in Maharashtra. Okay, so in Nagpur Bhandara region, okay, the Nagpur Bhandara region, the succession is as follows. Like the first, it will be chert, then patchy limestone with chert, then red and green clay, and then calcareous grit. Okay, in the calcareous grit. So this is how the succession of Lametas will be found. Okay, so chert, then patchy limestone with chert, then red and green clay, and calcareous grit. Okay, so these are the rocks. Okay, these are the litho units which you can find in these areas. Okay, so all these zones, right? All these zones may or may not be present. This may or may not be present in every outcrop. So it is not like in each and every outcrop you will find all these four zones. Okay, in each and every outcrops you will find all these four zones. It is not like that. There may be some one litho unit or one zone, two zones, three zones, or on all the four zones. Okay, so anything can be possible, right? Calcareous grit is the most common. Calcareous grit is the most common type of formation or most common type of litho unit which is present in Lametas. Okay, and it is followed by Cherty limestone. So Cherty limestone is second most. Okay. Chert may be the product of secondary silicification. Okay, secondary silicification might be there, and this chert is the product of this secondary silicification. Okay, and this green and red and green clay at places contain remains of dinosaur. Okay, remains of dinosaurs, then Chelonian plates and some lamelli branches. Okay, so these are the fossils. Okay, these are the fossils which are found in the uh, Lametas. Okay, these are the fossils which are found in Lametas of Lametas are completely these infratrappeans in Maharashtra. Okay, in the infratrappeans of the Maharashtra. Right. So here the Bag Lameta beds, okay, Bag and Lameta beds and the infratraps, okay, the infratrappeans come to an end. Now, after infratraps, we have something which is called as Deccan basalt. Okay, there's something which is called as Deccan basalt. Let me revise Deccan basalts for you. Okay, let me revise the Deccan basalts for you, right? So that it will be easier for you to understand and to interlink, right? We have come across with the um, infratraps, right? Infratraps, intertrap is one and the same thing, right? One and the same thing, and then we'll go for this Deccan traps. Right. So the Deccan Volcanic Province, I'm just quickly revising, right? I will just quickly revise it for you so that it will be easier for you to understand and to recall what we have seen in the petrology classes, right? So this Deccan Volcanic Province encompasses Maharashtra and adjoining regions of Gujarat, MP, Andhra Pradesh, and Karnataka. Okay. These outcrops, uh, right, outcrops of the DVP in the distant Rajamundri in Andhra Pradesh and in Kutch and Saurashtra in Gujarat indicate the extent of DVP was much larger in the past. Okay, so it is very larger basin. It was a very larger basin, and it is now covered by sediments. Okay, from these areas. Okay, so Deccan Trap covers an area of 500,000 square kilometer. Okay, 500,000 square kilometer, that is 5 lakh square kilometers, and approximate thickness is of 3,000 meters. Okay, approximate thickness is of 3,000 meters. Okay, majority of the Maharashtra is covered by this Deccan basalt. Okay, majority of Maharashtra is covered by Deccan basalt, and some parts of Madhya Pradesh, some parts of Gujarat, some parts of Andhra Pradesh. These also, okay, these also are covered by this Deccan basalts or Deccan traps. Now, what is the nature of lava? Nature of lava, the bulk of lavas are tholeiitic basalts. Okay, the bulk of lavas are tholeiitic basalts or simple lavas. Okay, or simple types. Okay. Some of the rock types of the Deccan volcanic province are alkali basalts. Okay, alkali basalts, nephelinite, carbonatite, and rhyolite. So it is very much patchy in nature, right? Patchy in nature. Some of the places you will find this alkali basalt. Some of the places you will find this nephelinite, carbonatite, or rhyolite. Okay, but these are the minor amounts. Okay, you will find these on in a minor amount in the rifted valley in the Narmada valley. Okay, in the rifted domain in the Narmada Valley. So in the Narmada Valley side, you will find all these things. Or else, in entire Maharashtra or in entire Deccan Traps, you will find the tholeiids. Okay, you will find the tholeiids. Okay. Now, in the Sahyadri range, the lava buildup comprises dominant Pa Hoi Hoi flow fields. Okay, you will find this Pa Hoi Hoi flow fields. I told you what is Pa Hoi Hoi lava. Okay, I told you about the Pa Hoi Hoi lava. Pa Hoi Hoi lava is nothing but your ropey lava. Okay, here ropey lava, which has appearance like this, which has the appearance like this, like a twisted rope. Okay, it is like a twisted rope. Okay, now these are the aggregates of many flow loops, many flows, because there is not one flow. Okay, there is not one flow, or this is not one single type of flow. Okay, it is not one single type of flow. It is the continuation, or it is a series of flows which occurred during the geological time. Okay, which occurred during the geological time. So it is like some millions of years it might have taken to form the bulk of the Deccan traps. Okay, the bulk of the Deccan trap or Deccan basalt. Right. Each of which grew by thickening through injection of melt under solidified crust. So there was solidified crust, and then the melting was there, the melt was present there, and the melt got injected. Okay, the melt got injected on the surface, and this surface, this has formed. Okay, this has formed the vast lava flows. Okay, this has formed the vast lava flows. Right. Then thin irregular flows with ropey surfaces dipping in different directions and piled up into chaotic masses are quite common. Okay, so lava flows, these irregular lava flows with ropey surfaces, okay, with ropey surfaces is very much common here. Okay, it is very much common. Okay. Next, the lava flows. Okay, lava flows are both Pa Hoi Hoi and A lava. Okay, Pa Hoi Hoi lava and A lava. That is ropey lava as well as blocky lava. Okay, we have this ropey lava as well as blocky lava. Okay, and the emplacement is through the process called inflation. Okay, the emplacement of flow is through the process of inflation. What is inflation? Inflation is the growth, right? Inflation is the growth. That means the surface, which was like this, due to exertion of pressure here. Okay, due to exertion of pressure here, it has now become like this. Okay, doming surface. Okay, domed surface, and due to such kind of doming, okay, due to such kind of doming, okay, the flow becomes convex up. Okay, the flow becomes convex up like this. Okay, flow become convex up. Okay. So this process of inflation produces a distinctive internal structure. Okay, it has the distinctive internal structures which has with respect to jointing, vesiculation, and textures. So there are different types of textures and jointing patterns. Vesiculations might be present in the lava flow. Okay. Now this pillow lavas, they suggest subaqueous origin. Okay. Pillow lavas, they suggest subaqueous origin. Subaqueous means under water. Okay, they represent underwater lava flow or underwater lava eruption. Okay, now there is something called as GPB. There is something called as the GPB, that is giant plagioclase basalt or megacrest horizons. Okay, or the megacrest horizons. Right, now these megacrest horizons or GPB, they are valuable markers of mapping the lava stratigraphy. Whatever the lava stratigraphy is, you cannot see the individual flows apart from there is a marker bed. Okay, because everything is in a same color. Okay, everything is in the same color, and apart from being same in color, they are same lithology as well. Okay, they have same lithology, right? So how will you for mapping? Okay, because it is possible to demarcate their age by the dating methods. Okay, it is possible to determine the ages from the dating methods, but it won't be possible. Okay, it won't be possible on field. Okay, once you go on the field and you want to map the individual flow. Okay, you want to map the individual flow. For mapping, what you need, okay, for mapping what you need is the marker horizons. Okay, the marker horizons, and these marker horizons are presented by these giant plagioclase basalts, GPBs, right? Now, what are GPBs? GPBs are the flows that contains unusually large plagioclase phenocrysts. Okay, they have larger plagioclase phenocrysts. Now, again, there is something called as bowl beds. I've told you about these bowl beds. Okay, they are very important. Okay, important marker horizons. So they are commonly termed as red bull and green bull. Two types of bulls. Okay, two types of bulls: green bull and red bull. Okay, bulls basically are fossil laterites. They are composed of pyroclasts of different shapes and sized. Okay. Now, red bulls usually contain nontronite, halloysite, iron oxide, and silica. Okay, and green bulls consist of elite, quartz, and plagioclase. Right, these are the compositions of green bull and red bull respectively. Okay, the bull beds are regarded as two, and the red bull being of basic composition and green bull is of acid to intermediate composition. Okay, so these are the red bull is of basic composition. Okay, the red bull is of basic composition and green bull is of acidic or intermediate composition. Now the regional stratigraphy. This is the part which have to be focused more when you are talking about the stratigraphy of Deccan traps. Okay, when you are talking about the stratigraphy of Deccan traps, the other aspects. Okay, the other aspects were for the petrological aspects. Okay, so these are not something different. Okay, it is not like you can separate petrology of Deccan basalt from their stratigraphy. Okay, you cannot do this, right? So the regional stratigraphy, okay, the lithostratigraphy of Deccan volcanics. Okay, the lithostratigraphy of Deccan volcanics is of formations and subgroups. Okay, so different subgroups, they are into. It is called as the Sahyadri group, the large Deccan plateau. Okay, the larger Deccan plateau or the larger Deccan basalt. Okay, the larger Deccan basalt. This entirely is called as Sahyadri group. Okay. Now this Sahyadri group is divided into four. Okay, Sahyadri group is divided into four sub provinces. Okay, four sub provinces. The first one is the main Deccan plateau. Okay, the main Deccan plateau where actually all these studies have been occurred. Okay, where all these studies have been taken place. Majority, all the Deccan trap, the entire Deccan trap has been studied thoroughly. Okay, entire Deccan trap has been studied thoroughly, but these main Deccan plateau is extensively studied. Right, it is extensively studied. Okay. Now, It occurs in the Western Ghats, okay, Western Ghats and the west coast from Mumbai to Ratnagiri. Okay, Western Ghats, Western Ghats, and from Mumbai to Ratnagiri, which is the best studied for Deccan Traps. This is the best studied part of Deccan Traps. Okay, the central area. Okay, the central area covers the terrains around Aurangabad. Okay, and the southeastern area covers the terrain around the Gulbarga and Nanded. Okay, so these are the geographical locations. Okay, these are the geographical locations where the main Deccan Plateau is located. Okay, where the main Deccan Plateau is located. Next is the Malwa Plateau. The plateau is situated to the north of Narmada River. Okay, the north of Narmada River, which covers the terrain around Sagar, Bhopal, and Indore. Sagar, Bhopal, and Indore. Right. It results from in the Satpura hills between the Narmada and Tapi faults form lofty peaks in Son Narmada Rift, which is situated between the main Deccan Plateau and Malwa Plateau. Okay, which is situated in main Deccan Plateau and the Malwa Plateau. Okay, so this is the Malwa Plateau. Next comes the Mandala Lobe. Okay, next comes this Mandala Lobe. So this terrain covers the easternmost outliers around Jabalpur, Sivni, and Chhindwara. Okay, the easternmost outliers around Jabalpur, Sivni, and Chhindwara. So basically, it is in the MP and Chhattisgarh area. Okay, MP and Chhattisgarh area. Next comes this Saurashtra Plateau. Okay, the Saurashtra Plateau. Now this terrain covers the square-shaped plateau between the Khambat Graben in the east and the western extension of Son Narmada fault in the south. Okay. Now there is a small curvilinear outcrop of Kutch Rift are also included in this sub-province. Okay, they are also included in this sub-province, right? So this is all in this is overall lithostratigraphy. Okay, this is overall the lithostratigraphy of Sahyadri group. Okay, of the Sahyadri group or Deccan basalt. Okay, so starting with Karsubai. Okay, starting with the Karsubai, that is the lowermost formation, then Lonawala, and then Y. Okay, Karsubai, Lonawala, Y. Okay, so in Karsubai, you will have Salher, then Ratangad, Indrayani, Karla, these formations, and in Y subgroup, we have Diveghat, Purandargad, and Mahabaleshwar formations. Okay, remember this: Salher, Ratangad, Indrayani, Karla, Diveghat, Purandargad, Mahabaleshwar. These 8 formations are there. Okay, these 7 to 8 formations, 7 formations are there, not 8. The 7 formations are there, and these 7 formations are divided into 3 subgroups. Okay, the 7 formations are divided into 3 subgroups: Karsubai, Lonawala, and Y. So this is the lithostratigraphy of Sahyadri group. Okay, this is the lithostratigraphy of Sahyadri group or the Deccan volcanic faults. Okay. Now the Salher formation consists of the Salher formation consists of simple Pa-Hoi-Hoi flows. Okay, simple Pa-Hoi-Hoi flows of pyric to feldspar pyric types. Okay, pyric to feldspar pyric types. Overlying Ratangad formation. Okay, overlying Ratangad formation, it comprises the compound flows of pyric and feldspar pyric types. Okay, pyric and feldspar pyric types, which is separated from the lower Salher formation by GPP. Okay, which is separated from the lower Salher formation by GPB. So there is in between the giant plagioclase basalt, the new horizon or a separate horizon between the two flows. Okay, between the two flows. Which two flows? Salher and Ratangad. Okay, the Salher and Ratangad. In between these two flows or between these two groups, between these two formations, we have giant plagioclase basalt, that is GPB. Okay. Now, separated from the Ratangad formation by GPB horizon once again. Okay, once again there is a GPB horizon which separates two formations. Okay, which separates two formations, Ratangad and Indrayani. Okay, Ratangad and Indrayani. So Ratangad formation and Intradi formation also have a GPB or megacrest horizon. Okay, megacrest horizon which separates these two. Okay, it consists of simple flows of columnar joints. Okay, it consists of simple flows of the columnar joints and aphoric types which are exposed in the central part of this group. Okay, central part of the formations. The next unit is the Carla formation. Okay. Next unit is the Carla formation, which consists of compound Pa-Hoi-Hoi flows which are exposed in the central part. Okay, the Pa-Hoi-Hoi flows which are exposed in the central part. Okay, in the Carla formation. Next, the lower part of this formation, sometimes described as the Elephanta formation. Okay, sometimes formed as the Elephanta formation. I have told you even earlier, the Elephanta formation or the Elephanta caves is again important culturally in Maharashtra. Okay, culture for the cultural identity of Maharashtra, right? So even the Maharashtra tourism logo is taken from this uh, the Shiva statue in the Elephanta group or Elephanta caves, right? So kindly go through it because you have to again answer the general studies section. Okay, overlying Diveghat formation. Okay, the overlying Diveghat formation consists of aphoric A flows with a rare Pa Hoi Hoi marker. Okay, with a rare Pa Hoi Hoi marker. So Pa Hoi Hoi marker is there in between these two. Okay, in between these two, you have the Pa Hoi Hoi marker which is present in the Diveghat formation. So they might ask you a question. Okay, they might ask you a question: which of the following formations has a rare Pa Hoi Hoi marker? Okay, Pa Hoi Hoi marker. So answer is Diveghat. Okay. The next unit is the Purandargarh formation. Okay, the Purandargarh formation which consists mainly of A and simple flows. Okay, it mainly consists A and simple flow. The A lava and simple flow. That is this Pahoewe lava. Okay, with the compound flows in the upper part. So in the upper part of this formation, okay, the upper part of this Purandargarh formation, what you have is the complex flows or the compound flows. Okay, overlying Mahabaleshwar formation. Okay, the Mahabaleshwar formation is separated from the lower unit by GPB horizon again. Okay, there is again one horizon which is called GPB or megacrest horizon, and this megacrest horizon separates Purandargarh and Mahabaleshwar. Okay, separates Purandargarh from the Mahabaleshwar. Okay, and comprises A and simple feldspar pyric flows. Okay, it comprises A and simple feldspar pyric flows, which is exposed in southern part. Okay, which is exposed in southern part of the flows. Okay, southern part of this succession. Now comes this intertrappeans, which is we are talking about. Okay. The intertraps and infratraps. What is intertraps? Intertraps is when um, sedimentary beds. Okay, the sedimentary beds they are found associated within the two igneous flows or within the two lava flows. Okay, the sandwiched type of the sandwich of the sedimentary in between the igneous or in between the lava flows. Okay, in between the lava flows. Right. So this will be called as intertraps. Okay, those will be called as intertrap. And the lacustine sediments underlying the lava succession are known as infratraps. Okay, these are known as the infratraps. Just previous to this, I have told you about the infratraps, where they are, what they are, and where they are found in the Maharashtra. Okay, they are interbedded with the lava flows are called as intertrappean beds. So if in between the two lava flows, it will be intertraps. Above the lava flows, it will be infratraps. Okay, they will be found as the infratraps. Right. So these are these locations of intertraps and infratraps. Okay. Intertraps and infratraps. There is something called as this flow brexia. I've again told you about the flow brexia. Okay, so the lava texture which is produced when the crust of the lava is broken and jumbled during the movement. Okay,
सर हॅलो.
येस.
तो लोअर कार्ला एलिफंटा फॉर्मेशन आहे का सर?
काय म्हटलं?
लोअर कार्ला एलिफंटा फॉर्मेशन राहणार का सर?
हो.
तिथे जे होतं ते द लोअर पार्ट ऑफ दिस फॉर्मेशन, तो विच
लोअर पार्ट ऑफ कार्ला.
लोअर पार्ट ऑफ कार्ला.
दिस फॉर्मेशन म्हणजे ते कार्ला फॉर्मेशन आपण जे कंटिन्यू करत होतो ते. राईट.
ओके सर.
So this was all about the Deccan basalt. I have taken it previously, but just for a revision. Okay, just for a revision, I have taken it once more so that you get well acquainted with this Deccan, because Deccan traps or Deccan lavas is very much important when we are talking about Maharashtra, or when we are talking about the stratigraphy of Maharashtra as a whole. Okay. Now coming to the last part of the stratigraphy. Okay, coming to the last part of the stratigraphy, the tertiary and quaternary sediments. Okay, tertiary and quaternary sediments. Now, this tertiary and quaternary sediments. Okay, the tertiary and quaternary sediments are represented in Maharashtra. Okay, they are represented in Maharashtra by the alluvium. Okay, by the alluvium. There are two types. I have told you when I've taken the overall stratigraphy of Maharashtra, or the overview of stratigraphy of Maharashtra. Okay, in that I have told you there are two types of formations, or there are two types of litho units which will be present in the tertiary and quaternary and tertiary. Okay, or the tertiary and tertiary. So it is alluvium. Okay, it is alluvium and laterites. Okay, it is alluvium and laterite. So these are the two types of formations, or two types of litho units which will be present in Maharashtra in different places, in variety of places, and these will form. Okay, these will form the succession in Maharashtra. Okay, so let us see what are those. Okay, what are those and where do you find those things in Maharashtra? Right. So it is. Okay. So it is the quaternary and tertiary and quaternary deposits in Maharashtra are represented by older and newer alluvium. Okay, by the older and newer alluvium. So whatever alluvium has been deposited by the rivers. Okay, whatever the river, whatever the alluvium which has been deposited by the river in Maharashtra. Okay, in Maharashtra is your tertiary and quaternary sediments. Okay, these are the tertiary and quaternary sediments. So it is represented by these older and newer alluvium. So that means right from the tertiary times, the alluvium is being deposited. Okay, the alluvium is being deposited. I hope you know alluvium. Alluvium means the sediments. Okay, the sediments which is brought by the rivers. Okay, the sediments which are brought by the rivers. So the rivers in Maharashtra. Okay, the rivers in Maharashtra, majority of the rivers in Maharashtra flow through Deccan basaltic area, right? Majority of the rivers in Maharashtra, they flow through the Deccan basaltic area, and these, when they are flowing through this Deccan basaltic area, they simply cut the Deccan basalts, right? They simply cut the Deccan basalts, they erode it, they erode the Deccan basalt, okay, erode the Deccan basalt, and the sediments, okay, the sediments which have been broken from the Deccan basalts or broken from the adjoining lavas, adjoining basaltic rocks, okay, which has been taken from the basaltic lavas. These will be taken by transportation. Okay, this is taken by the transportation, this transportation process, and this transportation process leads to the formation of finer grains. Okay, of finer grains from the coarser grains. Okay, is nothing but the weathering and erosion process. Okay, weathering and erosion process. So from the coarser grain materials, okay, from the coarser grain materials which have been broken, okay, these coarser grain material which have been broken from the sediments, okay, which have been broken from the rocks through the course of transportation, okay, through the course of transportation has now been converted, okay, has now been converted into finer materials, okay, into finer materials, and majority this finer material is silt, okay, majority this finer materials is silt or sand, okay, silt or sand. Now what is the silt or sand? Revisit the sedimentary picture. Okay, revisit my sedimentary lecture. In that sedimentary lecture, I have told you about the grade size, and in that grade size, these names are given. Okay, these names are given: silt and sand. Right. So this convert the larger these boulders into silt and sand size sediments. Okay, silt and sand size sediments, and these are deposited somewhere. Okay, these are deposited somewhere wherever the favorable conditions are present. Okay, wherever the favorable conditions are present, right? So this is how the entire setup, okay, this is how the entire setup of alluvium in Maharashtra has taken place. Okay, so this is the basic phenomenon, right? This is the basic phenomenon with which you can carry out, okay, or you can see the or you can carry out the studies of these alluviums in Maharashtra, okay, of this alluvium in Maharashtra. So the major alluvial deposits, okay, majority of the alluvial deposits are in the valleys of Purna, okay, in the valleys of Purna, then Tapi, then Godavari, Vardha, Penganga, and Vainganga rivers. Okay, so these are the areas. These are the areas. Purna. Okay, these are the areas. The Purna, Tapi, then Godavari, then Vardha Valley. Okay, Penganga Valley and Vainganga rivers. Along these rivers, and along these uh, river valleys, okay, along these river valleys, in the basement of these river valleys, you will find the newer and older alluvium, right? Older and newer alluvium. So let us see them one by one. Okay, let us see them one by one. The first one is Tapi Purna alluvium. Okay, this Tapi Purna alluvium. Now this Tapi Purna alluvium mainly consists of clay. Okay, it mainly consists of clay, then brownish to yellowish color, intercalated with several bands of gravels and sand. Okay, several band of gravel and sand. What does it indicate? That there is gravel and sand. Okay, clay is present, but there is also gravel and sand. What does it indicate about the transportation? Is gravel and sand. If such kind of deposits, or if such kind of um, if such kind of size, the sediment size are present. Okay, if such kind of sizes of sediments are present, then what should be your interpretation? What should be your interpretation for the transportation history of that area? Yes, anybody, just tell me. See, speak out. Even if it is wrong, I'll correct it. Okay. The presence of gravel, okay, the presence of gravel and sand, specifically, even you can leave sand, okay, even you can leave the sand. The presence of gravel, okay, the presence of gravel, that means these are the larger sediments, right? These are the larger sediments, and when the larger sediments are present in any kind of deposition, okay, in any kind of deposition, it represents less transportation. Okay, it indicates less transportation. That means the gravel or these sediments which are present in this Tapi Purna alluvium, okay, which are present in this Tapi Purna alluvium, these have not traveled much. Okay, these have not traveled much. So that in adjoining areas, okay, in the adjoining areas or from the adjoining areas, these materials have might have been taken place. Okay, these materials might have been taken place, or these materials might have been broken and deposited nearby their valley themselves. Okay, nearby the valley itself. It is not. It has not traveled much. Okay, it has not traveled much. At places, pebbles and sand grains. Okay, the pebbles and sand grains are cemented together by calcium carbonate to form a compact conglomerate. Okay, cemented by the calcium carbonate, that is calcareous cement is there. Okay, the calcareous cement is there, and it has cemented together to form a compact conglomerate. Okay, a compact conglomerate is there. Okay, which is found to be lying over the bed or the bedrock and below the alluvial sequence, above the bedrock and below the alluvial sequence. Okay, clay is generally not very well stratified. Clay is not that very well stratified. That means coarser clay might be there, then finer clay might be there, then ultra fine clay might be there. So it is not stratified that proper horizons of the clay can be identified. Okay, proper horizons of the clay are not identified, but it is random. Okay, it is completely random. Okay. Now, so this is about the Tapi Purna alluvium. Okay, this is about the Tapi Purna alluvium. Next is alluvium of the Godavari Valley. Okay, alluvium of the Godavari Valley, where Godavari originates from. Godavari originates from where? Is anybody there or everybody sleeping? Is there anyone? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible or not?
Audible,
Or
sir.
are you sleeping?
Audible, audible.
Then answer. If I am audible, then I'm asking something. Where do in Maharashtra Godavari originates?
Nashik, Trambakeshwar.
Trambakeshwar. Correct. Okay, Trambakeshwar. Okay, so these deposits, okay, this alluvium, it is also present. Okay, this alluvium is also present along the Godavari Valley, right? Along the Godavari Valley in the western Maharashtra. Okay, which is present in the western Maharashtra. Okay, so western Maharashtra and in Marathwada. Okay, so these extensive deposits are present in western Maharashtra and Marathwada. Okay, these deposits are made up of brown clay with intercalated bands of sand and gravel. Again, gravel is present. Again, the gravel is present. That indicates less transportation. Okay, that indicates the less transportation and nearby deposition or in situ deposition. Okay, nearby or in situ kind of deposition. Right. The gravel is made up of rounded fragments of agate and basalt. Okay, rounded fragments of agate and basalt. Basalt is very much obvious. Okay, basalt is very much obvious because it is flowing through a basaltic terrain, right? It is flowing through a basaltic terrain, so it will carry the sediments of basalt. Okay, it will carry the particles of basalt with it. Okay, it has been derived from the basalts present in the area along upper part of the valley. Okay, along the upper part of the valley, you will find this kind of basaltic rocks or basaltic sediments inside in the alluvium. Okay, next is Vardha Valley alluvium. Okay, next is the Vardha Valley alluvium. Okay, now the major constituent is brown clay with conker intercalated with layers of sand and gravel. Okay, the major constituent is brown clay with conker, which is intercalated with the layers of sand and gravel. Okay, the coarse grained sandstone showing the current bedding and grading downwards into gravelly beds is exposed. So here you have the coarse grained sandstone. Okay, the coarser grained sandstone, and this coarser grained sandstone shows the current bedding. Okay, it coarser grained sandstone shows the current bedding, which is environmental indicator. Okay, which is the environmental indicator. That means it is showing. Okay, it shows some environmental environmental data. Okay, in which kind of environment the this kind of deposits might have taken place. Okay, this kind of deposits might have taken place, right? So west of the Chandrapur, west of Chandrapur, the deposit consists of light brown to gray silt. Okay, light brown to gray silt, which is overlain by calcareous conglomerate and clay. Okay, which is characterized by calcareous conglomerates and the clays. Okay, so and then near Siruncha in Gadchiroli district, the silicified wood is also found. Okay, the silicified wood is also found in the gravels along the western margin of Chiquilia sandstone. Okay, along the Chiquilia sandstone. Right. So this is all about the alluvium. Okay, this is all about the alluvium. Next is the Penganga alluvium. Okay, next is the Penganga alluvium. Now this Penganga alluvium is a Pleistocene gravels which are occurred at or which occur as discontinuous outcrops. Okay, they occur as the discontinuous outcrops. Again, there is no single outcrop or there is no single larger litho units. There are broken discontinuous outcrops. Okay. At places, it is the bottom of the channel, but in others, the river has cut through the gravels, and the channel is now on Deccan traps or crystalline rocks. Okay, so the bottom of the channel or the even now the river completely cuts through the gravels. Okay, river has completely cut through the gravels, and now it is on the Deccan traps. Okay, on the crystalline rocks, even it has eroded that much. Okay, it has eroded that much. Near Hingoli in the Parbhani district, the large quantity of bones are reported, but these are not classified. Okay, these are not classified. The bones are present, but these are not classified of which animal. Okay, of which animal or which kind of creature these bones are. Okay, so it can be a new discovery. Okay, it can be a new discovery for our geological part or of the Maharashtra. Okay, the last one. Okay, the last one is the Vainganga alluvium. Okay, last one is the Vainganga alluvium. The Vainganga river in eastern Vidarbha. Okay, Vainganga river in eastern Vidarbha with its tributaries Kanhan, Chulbhan, Gadvi and Sati. Okay, these are the tributaries of Vainganga. Okay, these are the tributaries of Vainganga. Kanhan, Chulbhan, Gadvi and Sati. These are developed on alluvial complex. Develop an alluvial complex. Right. It consists of well cemented boulders and pebbles, bedded siltstone with calcareous concretions, and siltstone without concretions. So there are these rocks. Bedded siltstones might be there, like this. Bedded siltstone might be there with calcareous concretions. Okay, and siltstone without concretions. There is either there might be concretions or there might be no concretions, or it might be without concretions. Okay, all the units are flat bedded. Okay, all the units are the flat bedded units. Okay, flat units are there like this. The flat bedded units are. So this is all about the alluvium area. Okay, this is all about the alluvium. Okay, and the last part of the stratigraphy. Okay, the last part of the stratigraphy is laterites. Okay, the last part is the laterites. What is laterites? So laterites are basically the youngest in age. Okay, laterites are basically youngest in age, which belongs to youngest in age, belonging to the time span of Pleistocene to recent. Okay. Pleistocene to recent, and it is common occurrence in the Deccan traps. Okay, it is common. It has the common occurrence in the Deccan traps. So in Deccan trap area, you will find majority of these laterites. They are topped the Deccan trap. Okay, they are topped the Deccan trap. So there is Deccan trap, and above the Deccan trap, what you have is the laterites. Okay, now the laterite is of two types. Okay, the laterites is of two types: primary laterite and secondary laterite. Okay, the primary laterites and the secondary laterites. Now, the primary laterites, okay, the primary laterites, these are the residual deposits. Okay, primary laterites are the residual deposits which are formed by in situ decomposition of the parent rock. Okay, when there is in situ decomposition of the parent rock, that means the basalt. Okay, the basalt, it got decomposed, it got eroded. Okay, it got eroded by the chemical processes. Okay, by the chemical processes. Okay, this get eroded, this rock get eroded, and it forms, okay, it forms a rock. Okay, it forms a rock which is called as a laterite. Okay, so where they had been formed, okay, wherever they are the original parent rock used to be there, right? Where the parent rock used to be there, at the very place you will find the presence of laterite. Okay, you will find the presence of laterite. Such kind of laterite deposits, okay, such kind of laterite deposits are called as primary laterites. Okay, such kind of laterite deposits are called as primary laterites. So secondary laterites. Okay, next is the secondary laterites. So secondary laterites are the detrital deposits. Okay, these are the detrital deposits which are derived from the primary laterites. Okay, detrital deposits which are derived from the primary laterites. That means there the transportation is involved, right? The transportation is involved. That means they are found at the at one place. Say they are formed at the point A, and you are getting it at the point B. Okay, so it had traveled say 5 kilometers. Okay, it had traveled for 5 kilometers. So these from A to B, okay, it is not, this B is not in situ, right? It is not in situ, it has been derived or it has been reworked. Okay, it has been derived or it has been reworked. Okay, so this is secondary laterites. Okay, this will be called as secondary laterites. Okay, so these primary laterites, okay, the primary laterite is older, obviously. Okay, it's very obvious that primary the laterite is older and secondary laterite is the younger one. Okay, primary laterite is older one and secondary laterite is the younger one. Okay, laterites are porous rocks. Okay, laterites are the porous rocks. It has the pore spaces since it is chemically derived. Okay, it is chemically formed. So what happens here, okay, what happens here is that if say suppose this is the parent rock. Okay, this is the parent rock from due to the chemical reactions. Okay, due to the chemical reactions and chemical leaching of the materials, some of the spaces, some of the material has been removed from here. Okay, some of the material has been removed from here, and this material which has been removed has not been filled by secondary material. Okay, it has not been filled by secondary material. So here you have got the pores. Okay, you have got the pores, and these pores will then be used for the fluids. Okay, it will be used by the fluids to get stored, to get deposited, right? So it is formed, so it is a porous rock. Okay, it is a porous rock. It forms by in situ deposition, or chemical weathering of rocks. As I'm telling you that there is chemical weathering of rock, and this chemical weathering is giving rise to the laterites. Okay, the process is called lateritization. Okay, the process is called as lateritization. Okay, nobody is going to ask you what is name the process which converts basalt or which converts the parent rock into laterite. Okay, nobody is going to ask you this because it is very obvious that it is called as lateritization. Okay, it will be called as lateritization. Instead, they will ask you, or they will twist the question. Okay, they will twist the question and they will ask you this line: the removal of silica, lime, magnesia, and alkalis from the parent rocks. Okay, the process which involves, the process which involves removal of silica, lime, magnesia, and alkali from the parent rock is called as, the process is called as lateritization. Okay, the process is called as lateritization. Okay, so it is the removal of silica, removal of lime, removal of magnesia and alkalis from the parent rock, where whatever is present in the parent rock, it has been removed. Okay, it has been removed, the major constituents have been removed, and whatever is left is your laterite. Okay, whatever is left is your laterite, right?
Sir, if addition is present, then what will come? Delateralization will come.
What?
If addition was there,
Huh.
then what will be the name?
See, addition, we have not witnessed any kind of addition here. Okay, so we have not witnessed this phenomenon, so we have not named this. Okay, if such thing occurs, okay, if such thing occurs, so it might be named something else, like vesiculation or something like that, amygdalization. We haven't even witnessed this phenomenon. Okay, so there is no laterite which has been filled secondarily. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So since we don't have this phenomenon, or we haven't witnessed the phenomenon, we have not named it. Now, most of the primary laterites are found in Western Ghats in Western Maharashtra. I've told you about two types of laterites. Okay, about two types of laterites. Which were those? Not this class, not in this class. In the first class of stratigraphy, the very first class of stratigraphy, I've told you about two types of laterites. Coastal laterites and interior laterites, right? I've told you about these two types of laterites: coastal laterites and interior laterites, right? So the coastal laterites, okay, the coastal laterites are basically, okay, primary laterites. Okay, the primary laterites which is found, okay, which is found in the Western Ghats in Maharashtra. Okay, which is found in the Western Ghat part in the Maharashtra along the coast. Okay, along this coast. Okay, and caps of the small extent are also present in Vidarbha, in the Vidarbha region, the Kolhapur, Satara and Sangli. In Vidarbha region it is lesser. Okay, in the Vidarbha region it is lesser. Why it is lesser? Because in Vidarbha region we have different formation than that of the basalts as well. Okay, in the basalt, than that of basalt, we have this, we have Gondwanas, we have infratraps, all these things. Okay, we have Archeans in the Vidarbha. So in Vidarbha region, we have smaller extent of these laterites. Okay, some are present in Kolhapur, then Satara and Sangli districts. Okay, secondary laterites occur in the low-lying coastal regions. Okay, low-lying coastal regions extending from Mumbai to Ratnagiri and further south till Goa, Karnataka. Okay, all these things. Okay, the Goa and Karnataka and all these things, right? So this is the extent, right? This is the extent of laterites in Maharashtra. Okay, this is the extent of laterites in Maharashtra. Okay, so this is all about the stratigraphy of Maharashtra. Okay, this is all about the stratigraphy of Maharashtra. So with today's class we have completed the stratigraphy. Okay, with today's class we have completed the stratigraphy.